Top 10 blind buys. Yes, blind buying can suck. Like, it can really suck. Blind buying can lead you to picking up something like this ducker. Yeah. But every now and then I've been lucky enough to pick something up that I really enjoyed. 100% that was a blind buy. And before I go any further, I do have to say that I do not advocate whatsoever for blind buying. I don't advocate that you pick anything up without prior to trying it. If anything, I suggest you pick up a decant of a fragrance that you want to pick up. Again, do not blind buy a full bottle. Don't do it. Not when there's the options of buying things like decants. And moving forward, today's video is going to be a list of 10 fragrances that I picked up this year that I really enjoyed that were 100% blind buys or blind pickups. And I do plan on bringing you guys either a top 5 or top 10 of my worst blind buys from this year. That one might be a little bit spicier, might have a little more oomph to it, you know? Anyways, let's get into my top 10 blind buys or pickups from this year. And number 10 is a fragrance that was shipped to me from someone who watched my channel who wants to see my channel grow and develop. It is Platinum EGOISTE. And just so you guys can see this bottle here, he did ship me the full presentation, so I got this along with a Chanel bag. I mean, I don't want to brag or anything, but it is a Chanel bag. This thing is loud, masculine, and classy. It's one that I can see myself wearing with a button-up, a tie, on like a steak dinner kind of night. It smells like 1993, what it smells like to me, but it smells fantastic. Very, very high quality and not overly masculine. It's not like you took Fahrenheit by Dior and rebottled it as a Chanel. It's not like that. It's just a very strong fragrance. Strong as in masculine and has its own thing to it. It's very nice. And again, this is the first year that I've ever smelt this and I've ever had it in my collection. And number 9 goes to a cologne. It's called POSEIDON'S ELIXIR by Dua. It's an Aventus cologne that I enjoy. And moving on. And number 8 on this list is going to be a fragrance by a company called Wakehart. So if you don't know anything about Wakehart, Wakehart is a brand that was either founded or it's publicized by the Dolan brothers. They are 2 twins here on YouTube that are fairly well known, not necessarily in the fragrance community, but they are 2 YouTubers. And this is one of the, I believe, 3 from this line. Now they do have a signature scent line, which each brother has their own signature scent, but both of those look kind of weird to me. And I was kind of pulled towards this one. What this fragrance reminds me of a lot is basically taking the Lacoste Blanc and Dolce Gabbana Light Blue and putting them together, and you get something like this, which, I mean, it's like they literally took the bottles and combine them. And this is a unisex fragrance. It's also a EDC concentration, so it's not going to be something that lasts too long. But this one does kind of surprise me, actually. It's not one that I would wear after the shower because it does last a while. It performs better than most blue or aquatic fragrances that I have. It's not the lowest, like worst performing, but it's not the best. It's okay for what it is. It's about 50 bucks on the website, along with the other 2. The other 2 are, I think, probably leaning more feminine outside of the signature line they have. But nonetheless, this one's still really good. And like I said, if you're a fan of Lacoste Blanc and you're a fan of the Light Blue by Dolce Gabbana, you'll probably be a fan of this one. Number 7 on this list goes to a very recent pickup, but it is for sure one of my favorites from this year. It is Mercedes-Benz Select. So you guys can see this here. You have your front here. Obviously, is a fingerprint magnet. Bottom here is a real nice thick glass here. You probably can't tell in this video, but the inside of the juice here is like a green blue. It's not gray or it's not clear. But here you have your Mercedes-Benz up top. Now, if you check Fragrantic, you'll see that this reminds a lot of people of Creed Aventus. Each time that I spray it, I get something different. Like just now, it's a very earthy scent to it. It might be just because I smell that super fruity aquatic fragrance right there. But this, on the opening, I get a real fruitiness from this, similar to Creed Aventus, but still very different. One thing to note about this is the performance. This is not the best performing fragrance that I have by any means in my collection, but the scent is why it's in this list. And this will 100% be making its rotation probably in my after the shower fragrances, because like I said, it doesn't last a long time, but it does smell real good. This is something that I could see putting on before bed versus wearing, you know, different other clones or whatever. Just because after I'm out of the shower, I do like to wear things that don't necessarily perform the best, so that when I wake up, I'm not reeking of whatever cologne it was. And if you're sleeping, you don't want to waste that nicer, projecting, better performing fragrance before you go to bed. And number 6 on this list goes to a fragrance that I can only really describe it as something that you're gonna wear when you're wearing a t-shirt and like swim trunks during the day. It's gonna go to Eternity Summer 2020. It's okay. It's a very cool bottle here. But the reason I have it here is because it does perform okay on me, and the scent itself is enjoyable. It's one that I'm definitely gonna enjoy wearing a lot this summer. I will probably be spraying kind of heavier than I would the other ones that are on this list because it is kind of light, but it does perform okay for me. The scent's not the best, but like I said, it's still a very enjoyable fragrance and a very relaxed, chill kind of fragrance. Very much so a summer fragrance. It's definitely a relaxed, like a coconut heaviness in the opening that's pretty cool. It's not like a Virgin Island water coconut. It's not like something that's gonna make you think of putting on suntan lotion. This is just a very pleasant, not super super synthetic, but again, it's not a loud projector. It's one that's gonna sit close to your skin, and I honestly think I'm gonna enjoy this a lot this summer. And number 5 on this list was a recommendation from Robes08, but I'm glad he recommended it because it's different than any other sport fragrance that I have in my collection. It's different than my normal freshies. It's just different, and I enjoy it. When I first wore it, I wasn't really blown away by it, but then I wore it again, and I wore it out in the heat, and it almost like developed over time and into a fragrance that I wasn't really expecting from it. But this fragrance is ENCRE Noir Sport. And here we have the front here with a nice little wooden cap with the Lalique up top there, you guys can see, and this comes off like that. It is earthy and enjoyable. I can't really imagine what the ENCRE Noir, the original, will be like, but this is just earthy enough that it's not like overly dirt-like earthy. It's just enjoyable. It's just pleasant. It's not going to be a compliment getter. It's not going to be one that you're going to smell you from a block away and think they smell really good. But it is one that I see myself wearing quite a bit and enjoying while I wear it. And when I don't enjoy wearing this, Mark, you will hear from me. But as of right now, I make number 5 on this list. And now we're getting into the meat and potatoes of this list here, guys. So number 4 on this list is gonna be one that I've had on here quite a bit. You may just saw me flipping around, but number 4 on this list is one that I've really enjoyed. Again, it was a blind buy for myself. Kinda. My brother wore it a lot, so I smelled it then, but I never got a chance to wear it then. And I feel like that's one way of really going at gauging a fragrance. You can't necessarily gauge it by the opening scent. You're going to gauge it by how it responds off your skin. And this year I learned that about this fragrance. It goes to Lacoste Blanc. And this here is Lacoste Blanc. It is a grapefruit white floral masculine fragrance with a pretty crappy atomizer, but hey, they can't all be winners, right? Y'all, I wear this one so much. It's just so refreshing and nice. It reminds me of like this opening with grapefruit and maybe even drinking grapefruit juice. It's just very nice, very refreshing, very soothing. Guys, and this next one I'm just really glad to have because one, the bottle's like massive and it's one that I'm gonna wear heavily outside the shower or getting out of the shower just because it's so cheap. You can spray heavy. Apparently from what I've been told, it's like Versace Mano Fresh minus Starfish. I've never owned Versace Mano Fresh, so I can't really speak on that. But what we have here today, guys, is Blue Seduction by Antonio Banderas. This one's so nice. It has that opening, that fruitiness, that invitingness. I think the perfect out of the shower fragrance. It's just so cheap, guys. It's just so cheap, and it's just worth every penny, without a doubt. And now we're down to the 2 heavy hitters, the 2 heaviest hitters from my blind buys from this year. Number 2, might surprise you a little bit that is at number 2, goes to Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Intense. The heavy compliment getter, the one that's gonna pull everybody in and have them tell you they smell like a fresh cup of ice water. This reminds me of a fresh day out on the boat in the middle of nowhere that there might be some ice on the boat. This is just a very refreshing, cool fragrance. It's one that is sharp. It's almost too loud for some occasions, but if it's the dead of summer and you're wanting something that's just gonna make you feel like you just dove into a ice lake, it's right here. It performs, it projects, it is a great fragrance for the summer. There's not a lot that really beats this in terms of being some sort of fragrance. So for one, there's one so far that I think is gonna beat this summer. Number 1 on this list, the best blind buy from this year. I'm just kidding. Number 1 in this list goes to Yves Saint Laurent YSL Eau Fraiche. And here you guys go. You have the Arnold Schwarzenegger bottle here from Batman. Real cool glass down here, matte glass. Here you have your nice clear glass. Cool cap here. Guys, this is so different than any real, blue fragrance that I've tried in the past. It has a bit more character to it than your generic blue freshies like Nautica Voyage. There's the juniper berry that's in this that gives it just that differentness. That juniper berry also gives it a little more character throughout the wearing. It gives it that oomph. It makes it so that it reaches that person across the way from you. This has already given me quite a few amount of compliments. And that's just from the few times that I've been out in public here recently at the store or at the gas station. This one has garnished me compliments already. It projects, it performs, it lasts. It's not quite as sharp as the Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Intense, and that's why I have it here. Now, seeing as we're only still a few months in 2020, this list might change. I might start not to like one of these, and I might have one that I pick up that I start to enjoy even more. So the chances of this list changing is kind of high. Either way, I hope that you have enjoyed this list. If you have some blind buys that you have personally bought that you've really enjoyed, comment down below, let me know what they are. If you're looking into blind buying a fragrance, note down in the description here, there is a link for Alpha Fragrances. You can use my discount code, I think it's GGENT5, to get, I think it's 5% off from your order. If you want to try some fragrances out there, that's a good way to go about it. They have quite a few. They have a bunch of new releases there. And again, guys, like I said, I do plan on bringing you guys either a top 5 or top 10 list of my worst blind buys from this year, just because I have a bunch of them. Probably for every 1 in 4 that I pick up, I dislike really bad. I've been lucky enough to pick up, quite a few that I do enjoy, but at the same time, I have picked up some pretty crappy fragrances this year so far. This is why I obviously recommend not blind buying and being able to get a decant and trying it out and seeing how it works for you. But guys, like I always say, keep it gent and love your scent, and I'll see you all tomorrow.